What's going on, everybody? So today I am going to be addressing some of the Reddit leaks, data mines here. So keep in mind that this is just speculation at this point. Obviously, data mines can be trusted to some degree, but we don't know for sure. So if I pull this up here, we can see that the data mine, gem crafting mechanic, weapon alteration, socket asset, and all that stuff are coming supposedly based on the data mine from the YouTube video. And I'll leave the link to this Reddit post in the description down below. But I want to talk about if this is good enough to make veteran players return. And on top of that, what I think this means for the game. And before I do that, I want to address a few of the comments, as well as this idea that us as creators making videos about people quitting the game and some problems with the game as an overall negative. I think this is a very naive perspective, because oftentimes what ends up happening is if you're going to tell us that we make a video and that's going to cause people and cause the death of the game because it is criticism of some poor systems in the game, then those players would have played the game, they would have seen those systems, and they would have quit anyways. So there isn't really any difference between us maybe causing some people to leave, if that even happens, which it generally doesn't. Most people that watch our videos are people that are already in the game or beginning the game, not people who are looking to go ahead and figure out whether they want to play the game. So that is something we're going to keep on with our honest feedback, and this ends up becoming actual things that they solve. When we make videos like this, they actually respond in some times, some scenarios, not all the time. We're not like these all-powerful people, but we do want to give our best shot. That's the whole job. You know, people will criticize content creators for not going ahead and speaking out, and then when we do, we get backlash for it. So I want to address that because I think that this is very, very important for the ongoing community and making sure that we have the best game possible, because let's be honest, guys, we want that. And this is a really, really interesting data mine, and honestly, something that I think addresses a lot of the feedback that I've given in my previous videos about quitting. Not me quitting, but other players quitting. So first off, let's talk about the targeted 5-star gem crafting mechanic. As I said, this YouTube video has all this information into it, but we're gonna go over just the Reddit post here and talk about the actual data. So it looks like in addition to fading embers, there seems to be another crafting material coming to the game, Telluric pearls. These pearls, along with unlockable 5-star legendary gem recipes, will potentially enable us to target specific 5-star legendary gems for crafting. Now, this is someone's personal guess. So what I think is going to happen with this, I'm going to go ahead and just give you my thoughts on this. This is something that is very, very important. This is literally what we've been asking for this entire game. Super, super, super important that we kind of target this paragraph in specific. And so because of this, I'm going to go ahead and come back to this and just talk about the other stuff, because I think this is super important and is huge for the implications for the future of this game. First off, or the second off rather, we have the odd transmog mechanic. It looks like they have a lot of personal opinions about this. It's like a data mine where a rainbow effect for a weapon only. There are 7 Cosmos orbs to be obtained. And I guess I could click on the video because honestly, this Reddit post is giving a lot of personal opinions when we just want the facts here. Let's see, we got to add, but basically, what you're going to have here is a situation where there's transmogs with these little orbs, and they give an example of what it might look like. It says, collect all the orbs and visit the blacksmith who could transmogrify your equipment to have a rainbow appearance. And let me just see if they happen to have the transmuting. This is a question mark. I'm not sure if this is what it's actually going to look like, or if this is just actually a data mine, or if it's just speculation. Again, I'm not quite sure. But nonetheless, I guess kind of cool. Something very silly, in my opinion. I much prefer transmog, where you can transmog your gear pieces into looking like any other legendary item in the game. For those of you that don't know, if we just hop back over to Diablo Immortal here, I currently have a skin on, but in the game, there are builds here that you could check out. And honestly, I have completely forgot where to actually end up finding these things. Let me see if I can just go ahead and look in the skills menu. But basically, there are certain, there we go, it's in here. These builds here, they have a certain look to them. These builds are the game's builds, and when you equip these items, they kind of all match. So it'd be really cool to go ahead and have kind of these builds and be able to move along your legendary items to transfer into any other different looking legendary items. So you can actually mix and match your set pieces. Because if I took off my cosmetics here and I had nothing, then you would find that, let me see if I can just equip this and then remove it, you'll see that I have a bunch of like random pieces that don't exactly match. And that is mainly due to the fact that we do not have legendary items that go together based on the game. So that would be cool to have, and I really wish they would do that. Then we have the universal gem socket asset. This is going to be some sort of rainbow colored socket, or being able to transfer sockets in our legendary or our secondary gear here. So you can see how we have a red socket and a yellow socket with the tourmaline and the citrine. Well, it's supposedly you might be able to go ahead and have a universal socket, or be able to transfer sockets from like a tourmaline socket to a, let's say, sapphire socket or something like that, where you can have armor pen instead. This is actually a really cool feature and allows for more build specificity, which is super, super cool. And then a Halloween cosmetic / event, and there isn't really any specific. So this is huge. There's two things in here that I think are very, very important, and then two things in here that I think are fun. The transmog, it seems fun. It's just a fun mechanic. Doesn't seem like very important. And the Halloween cosmetic plus event, it's just a fun thing, right? Maybe the event's really cool, and it might bring some players back for that event. Cool. But I want to talk about the universal gem socket, and more specifically the targeted 5-star gem. So we'll start with the gem socket. This is super important for you if you wish to go ahead and, like, let's say appearing a satyr and you want to go for full armor pen, max out your crit damage. However, that crap, I'm not sure if your armor pen crit damage caps out your banner damage, because banner damage increases with crit chance. In the skill description, you'll see that it says your crit damage is reduced to 135%, and additional crit chance will go ahead and boost it up to a maximum of 200%. But I'm not sure if armor pen is an outside factor. Like, crit chance will cap it out, but armor pen is an additional, something like that. Or if you're running, let's say, I don't know, wizard, and you want to go for full freeze CC, and you want to stack a bunch of citrines and get potency super, super high up. I think this could be a very, very interesting mechanic, and I like this option. Now, on to the targeted 5-star gem crafting mechanic. Now, this is game changing. Okay, so I do not want to undersell this. This is the thing that I, as well as many other creators, have been asking for. Now, I'm not going to get super, super hyped up about this, because one, it's a data mine. Two, I don't know how many limitations are going to be placed on it. But the thing that we've been asking more than anything, is some way to daily log on and progress your character. So I don't want to undersell the fact that if this is the case, where let's say you're logging on daily, and then every week you're able to get enough Telluric Pearls to craft a 5-star gem, that is massive. That is massive. And this could absolutely game change the entire landscape of the whole game, and really, really make it actually quite fun for players, free to play specifically, but also even players like in my situation that are 3K residents that could still find that every week crafting a 5-star gem, that means, in about 3 months, I can get a reasonable upgrade. Again, you might look at that and like, oh, that's absurdly long amount of time. And I would agree with you. It's still probably too little, but it's still way better than it is now. And that would give me a lot more motivation to go and grind out a bunch. Or maybe this isn't capped and it's based on how much you can play per day. I don't think they're going to do that, but if that's how it works, this could be even more insane. Let's say they don't weekly cap it, and it's just you play a bunch, you're going to get a bunch of materials, and you can craft a bunch. Absurd. Super, super cool, guys. This is literally what we've been looking for from the beginning of the game. So you veterans out there, if this comes to pass, you better be keeping up on the information on this game coming forward, because this may be something that will bring you back to the game. So that's super important to go ahead and note, right? And that's why I titled the video the way I did, because I believe this is, more so than anything, the biggest problems on veterans' minds. And when I mean veteran, I mean day one players, or very heavy grinders, or players that have played for quite a while in this game. So this is one thing, me personally, regardless of some of the analytics and data that I've had on my YouTube channel showing me that, hey, your long-term viewers are kind of dropping and new-term viewers are, kind of watching your channel. Me personally, this is huge. This would make me motivated to grind the game for hours upon hours if I'm able to actually go ahead and craft 5-star gems. This literally changes the game from, that 50-year type thing where you can max out your character to potentially maybe a couple of years, which for me, that's exactly how these gacha type games, mobile games in general, really kind of be successful. Like if you compare this to something like Raid Shadow Legends, which again, I think is like a fair comparison because you have a gacha system in the game. Well, you're going to have a situation in raid where you can spend a bunch and you can go and get all your resources and shoot it far ahead. And your free-to-play players, your endgame players, yes, they can improve their gear and still get stronger. So hopefully there's something in there for our endgame players in Diablo. But your free-to-play will eventually catch up in terms of all the content in the game you can do. But PvP is something that still will be a tough thing to do. But progressing your character in terms of resonance and being able to grind it out, you'll be able to go ahead and maybe push past some of the spenders out there as free to play. And that's a super, super interesting thing. Again, if you're playing a pay to win game, you really can't look at the game to where if you're free to play, I want to be able to compete with whales. You'll never be able to do that. But you want to look at it as, if I'm free to play, can I progress my character reasonably to where I'm getting stronger every day? And that's where I think a really, really sweet spot is. And if this is the way it is, and you're going to be able to craft 5-star gems at a semi-regular pace, this is insane. Let me know what you think down below. Again, I'm very positive about this change because this is the key thing I've been asking for specifically from the beginning of the game, basically. So if they add this, they've listened to feedback and they've really done a good job here. Again, it's a data mine, so I'm not going to put too much stock into it. We'll see next month and see what's up. At that time, I'll go on and make a video. Be sure to sub if you want to check out that video. Be sure to be on the lookout for news because this is a huge, huge drop. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, like the video, and I'll see you for the next one.